Alright, evening folks, how's it going? Try and do this again. I've tried to make this a couple times now and the drone started acting up. This is my drone setup that I'm working on right now. Or one of my drone setups that I'm working on right now. Okay, so first I want to note that I've never seen this formation before. It's really interesting as to where it is because it's not far from here. It's almost a perfect circle, eh? Very interesting. Okay, so what is this? This is my drone map and control program on a tablet. As you can see, everything is NA right now because I had to shut the drone off and then I turned off the controller because it was yelling at me. But the point being is that when I turned on everything, I was powering things up because I was bored and acting like a teenager and just wanted to play with my toy. Anyways, I noticed that it did something that's really important for people who do stuff in the mountains to know about. And in particular, if you're flying drones or using GPS. So this is a GPS related issue. There are a few different names I've heard it called by. I tend to use signal bounce. Some people call it redundant signal. Some people call it duplicate signal. So when I turned on my drone, this is where the map centered me to, and this is where it decided I was. And you can't see right now, but I had 12 satellites, and it was still showing me over here. This is a peak. This is a slope. This is a ledge. So I've already gone and checked to see where I was. And so I'm pretty far from where I was. You would never find your drone. We'll just put it that way, okay? And you would never find a body. You would never find a live person if they couldn't make a fire or a signal. We'll just put it that way, okay? So, but yeah, that's really interesting that it looks like a circle. Okay, so what is this redundant signal or duplicate signal? Well, basically, GPS works by, we're going to call you this little white dot here, right where the pencil is. GPS works by sending out a ping to different satellites, or not by sending out a ping to satellites, but measuring the time it takes for a satellite signal to come in. It's not directly communicating to the satellite, I don't think. Some might be. I can't remember where we are in technology right now, and I'm really tired and smoked a bunch of joints. But anyways, basically, you've got a bunch of different satellites all around. Maybe some right on top and some on the other side of the planet, which don't necessarily count. But anyways, and the time it takes for those signals to come back to your point is how it decides where you are. Because if it takes X amount of time to come from this side over to here, and then it takes X amount of, or Y amount of time for this, and then Z amount of time for here, it's basically triangulation by satellite ping. Pretty simple stuff. But now what happens in a mountain is that as that signal is coming in, we'll just use a simple angle here, it might hit this and come in at the same time that it's hitting this and coming straight in, or not hitting this and coming straight in. So that's where you get a duplicate signal. Because the signal is not a laser beam, it spreads out basically. Now as it spreads, you can have bounce off of high objects like mountains, hills, towers, buildings, which hit your receiver at different times, which throws your signal right out. Alright, so that's a pretty basic explanation, and I'm sure somebody out there can do a better job of it. Let's see how far out are we. I'm trying to do this without looking. Don't know why I can't zoom out now. There we go. Alright, so we were over here on the other side of Rundle Mountain Range in the town of Canmore. So as the crow flies, I would say that's about 8 kilometers straight across. If you're relying on your GPS to survive something, I think that's Rundle. Is it Rundle? Pretty sure that's Rundle. Hold on a second, that might not be Rundle, but in any case, yeah, that's Rundle. If you're relying on your GPS to survive, and suddenly, you started getting thrown out like that, it could be life or death. for a drone, it could be a lost drone. And what'll happen is, let's say if you had it on return to base or return to home or whatever, and has the wrong GPS in there, then you're just gonna fly off somewhere, just like that. Anyways, I'm about to lose the rest of this video, so have a great day. Thanks for watching, and don't lose your drones.